So I always say sometimes you have to start all over, or sometimes you have to take a few steps down just to work your way back up, and it's fine, like it's a part of the journey. My name is Heather Lowery, and I am the CEO and president of Femme and the founder of Next Gen Femme. I grew up in a small town in Delaware, Newcastle, Delaware, and I had a passion for music and entertainment, and I thought I wanted to be an entertainment attorney. At that time, I didn't know of too many other, career paths for me, so that was it. That's what I wanted to do. I went to a predominantly white high school, and I was quite frankly fed up, and I just wanted to be around my people. I decided on Spelman because I said to myself, if I'm going to HBCU, it's gonna be the best HBCU there is. And at the time, Spelman was ranked #1, still is. When I was at Spelman, I was a little hustler. I got great grades, but I also wanted to make sure I was learning about the career path that I wanted to go into. So I always had internships in entertainment as well as in law. So I interned at LaFace Records. That was my first taste in the music industry. My senior year at Spelman, I started meeting a lot of attorneys, or I guess the attorneys even that I was interning for, some of them. They told me to make sure. I just kept hearing, make sure, make sure, make sure. And I'm like, is this a sign? But I also started questioning myself and asking, like, is this what I really want to do? Like, do I want to be an entertainment attorney, or am I doing this because this is what my parents want me to do, or this is the only career that I thought I could do? So I decided not to go to law school. I just remember feeling like a failure. Like, here I am, college educated, graduated from the top HBCU, magna cum laude, and I have no job, and I have no idea what it is that I want to do. So I remember moving back home to my mama's house, and she had a dream that I was sitting on the mantle of her fireplace, and everything that I touched turned to gold. So that's when Heather Gold was born. After my mom had this dream, I still didn't know what it was that I wanted to do. I had a few friends that knew the owner of the studio in Philadelphia, Larry Gold. I knew that if I got my foot in the door somewhere, anywhere, at any company in entertainment, that I could show what I could do, what I was capable of achieving, and what value that I could add. So I remember having a conversation with Larry and him not having anything available. So I told him I would sweep the floors, I would answer the phones, I didn't care, I just wanted to get my foot in the door. He gave in eventually, and it just started as a part-time job, maybe a couple days a week, and that turned into 5 days a week, which turned into 12 hours a day, which turned into me eventually running the place as the general manager of the studio. I felt like I hit a plateau at Larry Gold's studio. I had to do some soul searching and really figure out what my God-given talents were and what career path would lead me to being able to fulfill those talents. I decided that I wanted to be a talent agent. So I went from general manager of the studio to an assistant at William Morris. I remember getting the job and being so excited that I'm becoming assistant. And I'm like, okay, here I am again. Sometimes you have to start all over, or sometimes you have to take a few steps down just to work your way back up. And it's fine, it's a part of the journey. I didn't have a lot of pride. I was just very happy that I had a new opportunity to really pursue my career goals. I was at William Morris for about 2 years, and I left because I was always looking for more. How can I grow? How can I learn? I didn't have a plan. I just kind of left. Normally you leave and you're leaving to go to something else. I just knew it just wasn't for me anymore. And I started working in artist management. What I was doing for the management company was handling the bookings for the artists that they managed. Smaller boutique agents would call requesting to book the artists that I was handling. And that's kind of when I had my aha moment. Oh wow, this is what I do. And I know that I could do this so much better than these boutique agents that are calling me. That's when I decided to start my first company, Agency for Artists. When I had my agency that I ran for 12 years, I got to a place where I was growing a little bit financially every year. I wasn't growing personally, I wasn't growing professionally, and I wanted more. I initially met Sean at the studio because Sean was a business manager for a lot of the artists that recorded there. Sean is also the manager of The Roots and also the manager of Jill Scott. So I met Sean then, and we built a rapport, and Sean did his research. He was starting Live Nation Urban. I was a name that came back. When he thought about building his team, it was perfect timing because I wanted more. I thought that I needed to be a part of something bigger that was bigger than me in order to get the growth that I was looking for. I remember telling him, like, yeah, I'm interested. I'm moving to LA though, so I'm gonna have to do it. And he was like, oh, cool. It took a whole year for Sean to call me back. So he called me back and said, it's finally happening. My deal is closing. I want you to be on my team. I started my journey with Live Nation as the Vice President of Talent and Touring for Live Nation Urban. In 2019, I did a panel for the Billboard Live Music Summit, and I remember being asked what I was doing to support women in live music, and I remember not really having an answer, and it bothered me. I too was guilty of booking mainly men for everything that we were doing, so it really bothered me, and I knew that I wanted to do more for women in live. A few months after that panel, I created Femme Forward to give women an opportunity to perform on stage with one another. So we launched with 10 shows, 4 panels, and that quickly turned into a movement, also a business. I went to Michael Rapino, the CEO of Live Nation. Honestly, I don't remember if it was a proposal initially. It may have just been a conversation. Yeah, it was a very short meeting. So it happened very quickly. I always say my life is just nothing is planned. Like I didn't plan. I planned to be an entertainment attorney, and you see how that worked out. But nothing has been really planned. Like Femme Forward wasn't actually planned. The opportunities that all these young women are getting, like there are things that are happening that I'm not even aware of. And I always say that I don't always see the impact, but I feel it. Like I feel it each time a young girl walks up to me and expresses her gratitude for being a part of the program and connecting her with her mentor, and that experience is changing her life. I feel it. I feel it when I create platforms like our gala and our summit. It's just a feeling of beauty and love. I definitely want my legacy to be the impact that I'm giving to all of these young women that are benefiting from Femme Forward, and especially the Next Gen Femme Mentorship Program. I remember seeing like the first few versus battles and thinking like, this is amazing. Like this is the only thing that people are really like excited about and tuning into right now. And it's culture shifting, but I did notice that there were no women. And so that bothered me, obviously. So I reached out to Swiss's manager, Monique. We had a conversation and I'm just like, where are all the women? And she connected me with Swiss and we got on the phone and he's just like, what you got for me? And I came back with a confirmation for Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, followed by Brandy and Monica, and Keisha Cole and Ashanti, as well as Escape and SWV. To see the final output, I'm always grateful. Like I'm grateful to be in the room. I'm grateful to be a part of it. Like I realize with my journey, my life, my career, I'm not in control. Like I'm very clear that I'm a vessel. And so I feel gratitude when, even when I do big things, I'm grateful that I'm even able to create something as beautiful as Female Battles of Verses. I feel like what you do your whole life or your whole career is gonna prepare you for receiving the call. And my advice to everyone coming up in the industry is do your best, give your all, be a good person, embrace the journey, because it's hard. Life is hard for everybody. It's also about planting seeds. Like everything that you do as like a young executive, entry level, every move that you make is being watched. And if you're not planting great seeds, you know, it's gonna be a little bit harder. But if you're making connections and you're doing good work, your seeds are gonna grow into trees. And eventually you'll get to a place where you're gonna be able to receive that call. And if you don't, then you're gonna have to make the call.